Hey, what's up? It's Morsi, and we are here on the Black Friday weekend. Um, Literally, tomorrow's like Black Friday, all those plugin sales, and I know there's a lot of people kind of deciding which plugin to purchase, what makes the most sense, bang for buck. I wanted to focus specifically on FabFilter Pro Q4 and Neutron 5. Now, I'll tell you right away, Neutron 5 makes the most sense. It's a little more expensive, um, but you get a whole bunch of plugins for way cheaper. And there's a little discount hack. So if you're watching this right now today, I think the sale ends today, November 26th, but there's always going to be more of these sales because Neutron Isotope is pretty good with that. Anyway, let me get right to it. I wanted to focus specifically on workflow. Both EQs, Pro Q4, amazing EQ. I use it all the time, but I'm starting to notice I steer a little more towards Neutron 5 EQ for my workflow, specifically when I want to get more stereo image or when I want to just take out some stereo information and do more mono. They have different uses, and I'm going to demonstrate right now how I would normally use it. So this first example, we have a kick drum, and it's in stereo. I'll let you hear it right now. It's I don't know if you hear it. There's a lot of white airy sounds. Somebody pretty much just put a plug in and stereoed the hell out of it. And for a kick drum, you kind of want a more mono in the middle to punch through. And I'm just going to fix that right away with two versions. So let's try it with Pro Q4 first. Just workflow, how I would fix this, all right? Oh, let's go back to default. All right, let's start this from scratch. So, side information. All right, boom, sides got taken care of. Let's add some maybe high air. But instead of side, let's go back to stereo. And let's dynamic EQ it up. I'm going to over exaggerate just so you can kind of hear it. And then maybe let's add a little bump at 100 hertz. So I'm looking at 100 and let's do mid. Let's maybe add some saturation. All right, let's bypass so you can hear the comparison. Every time I do that, like every time I fix it, I just feel so much better because it's annoying. Hearing the stereo image on a low frequency like a kick drum, for some reason, it just doesn't feel right. Anyway, that was pretty quick as you've seen. I was able to cut the sides, boost the mid, and add more top end, add some saturation within seconds. And, you know, it sounds great now. I would say the issue is fixed. Let's move on to Neutron. All right, and there you have it. Let's see, do the comparison. All right, so as you probably can see, workflow-wise, they both got the job done. Now, the only thing is, what I don't like about Neutron, even though I'm suggesting you maybe buy the whole Neutron pack at the end of this video, I think there's way more steps I have to do, which is annoying because I was trying to like Google search, and somebody in the comments, please let me know if there is a shortcut. But like, in order to get a dynamic EQ going, I have to turn on this tab, turn on dynamic, then either click up or down to figure out whether I want to expand or if I want to decrease. And to do mid side, I think I have to use another instance of EQ, because unless I'm doing this wrong, if I go to mid side, now no matter what if I click on this, it's still in the mid or the side. And it gets a little confusing. So it's like I have to use another instance of this plugin in order to get the job done. However, the job got done. This width knob is amazing because a lot of people maybe will tend to use it for width purposes, but you can actually use it for mono purposes and get your shit right in the middle of your mix. Plus, you have your pan right here. You can left to right pan stuff, and this beautiful big bypass button, which I love so much. Because the FabFilter one, if you see it, it's a little tiny, sometimes hard to find, and now it's next to this new saturation button. Can get a little tricky. However, look how much I was able to do with this. So I would say for this instance, I think Pro Q4 maybe won, but remember, the job got done both pretty quickly. I just favored the Pro Q4 just because I like the control of that mid side for doing more mono purposes. But we're gonna do something later with vocals, stereo purposes, and you're gonna notice a difference. All right. Anyway, let's move on to the next sample. Ugh, so much stereo information. It's pretty like phasey. I don't know if you hear that in your headphones. All right, I'm gonna fix that. Pro Q, let's do the job. Let's get it done. All right, this is actually more of a lower frequency that I want to get rid of the stereo. All right, the shakers are a little loud. Let's control those. Let's stereo down. Let's control some of this percussion. Let's take out all this low frequency from this tom-tom. Back on stereo. All right, let's do a comparison. Let's lower the output a bit. Boom, got the job done. Once again, this fast-paced mid-side. Wow, this is turning into the favor of Pro Q4, which is funny. This is why I love doing these videos live, and it's just like we're figuring it out as we talk. All right, let's figure this out. All right, default. Let's go default. All right, let's fix this. So I think I got that done. And then, like I said last time, I had to fix the lower. So I'm actually going to add another instance of Neutron. And this time focusing on getting the side of the low end out. Let's see what else we could fix. What else did I do with this Pro Q? We tamed down some of the lower frequencies. So let's do that on this. All right, so a few more steps, but kind of got it done. Crazy enough, Pro Q4 wins again as far as workflow. They both got the job done. I had to add another instance of Neutron 5 to fix the mids, to fix the sides on that lower frequency. Yeah, that was a surprise because I technically was, I'm leaning toward Neutron. Well, I'll explain a little more later why Neutron I think is still worth the bang for the buck. Unless you're like sculpting and really trying to be a mix engineer or like just really getting your mixes tighter. I don't know. Hey, let's move on to vocals. All right, here we go with vocals. No, 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 no. So let's say I wanted to get this a little more stereo. This is where Neutron would have won, but let me show you an example. So we're gonna try to push the sides out, right? I wanted to get this a little more wider. So we're gonna go to side. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Now, interesting. I don't know if you heard that click. There's a click that kind of happens when you push up the stereo. No, 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 no. Oof, doesn't sound good when you push up the sides. So right now, I'm trying to get the stereo info with a Pro Q4, and technically it's just not doing it. It's not getting the job done because this is pretty much, I think this is a mono vocal. And if we look carefully, it looks pretty identical from the top and the bottom. So we know this is a mono. And so it's trying to produce this fake stereo, which Neutron actually does a good job, which I'll demonstrate. But with that said, there's still things we can adjust on this vocal. Spectral. Now this is where Pro Q4 kind of does an awesome job. All right, let's try this. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. So what it's doing is pretty much a dynamic EQ, but instead of bumping this whole thing down and losing so many frequencies, it's just taming down the ones that are really peaking. So this way you get a nice flatter signal. It's equivalent to a multi-band compressor, but like spectral wise, it's really detailed, and you can get super detailed or less detailed, and you could add attack and release. No, 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 no. Which is great. So if you have a mono vocal and you're not really trying to make it stereo, like a lead vocal specifically, then, this is a great instance. But if you were trying to accomplish getting that stereo width and cleaning it up, this might not be the best plugin for it. So let's cut some lows. Let's fix this up a little more. It's a little harsh. Maybe I want to tame down some of the harshness. Spectral again. So just trying to control some of that high sizzle. Yeah, I mean, we could add some saturation too. Why not? In all honesty, sometimes you can really hear the saturation, sometimes you can't. Anyway, I think I got the job done, what I wanted to do. For stereo purposes, though, I would have to add a different plugin because I don't technically think any FabFilter plugins, and correct me if I'm wrong, can get that fake stereo information like isotope plugins can. But maybe that's not the purpose for using the Pro Q. Anyway, let's try Neutron. I'm going to turn on saturation for why the hell not. Let's get that stereo that I was talking about. I would not go more than 15 or 20 width, because then you start getting that phasey information that we were making fun of, that I was making fun of for that stereo kick in the beginning. So like, I mean, let me show you how it would sound. Ugh, it makes me cringe every time I hear too much stereo phasing information. Anyway, let's do 15, 20% tops. And let me cut out some lows. It's pretty cool. Dynamic EQ downwards, control some of these higher. Another one right here, maybe. Maybe I said that high sizzle that I want to control just a touch. Let's do that. Bypass. So this vocal is pretty good already. It doesn't really need much, but I cleaned it up a bit. And let's say my goal was to get a little more stereo information. I'm using Neutron 5 all the time to just get this fake stereo when I have a lot of samples that are just in the middle and I'm trying to like get that width. I go right to Neutron 5, boom. If I want to like just cut an EQ, cut the lows, cut the highs, you know, I'm going straight for this plugin to get those quick jobs done. However, when I'm trying to get really technical and I want to do a whole bunch of surgery on a sample, I'm probably going for Pro Q4. So with that said, I mean, it's so funny because I originally was thinking, damn, Neutron 5 is like the best plugin because you have so many other options. Now, we didn't talk about that yet, and I do want to talk about that. I mean, let me see. Do we see this screen? So when you have Neutron, you get 10 different types of plugins. For right now, it's $300, but there's a little hack to get a discount. Anyway, you have Sculptor, which is pretty much spectral. It's just you have to do it another instance, and like it might take more CPU because you're using multiple plugins. But yes, you do have Sculptor. You do have compressors. You have Unmask, which is not here. I'm not. Anyway, if you better Google Unmask, because literally Neutron 5, the Unmask tool, you can duck pianos or drums, have them duck spectrally to like a main vocal, so that main vocal is just popping right through the mix. For those that don't know, if you have like a piano sample, piano really takes up the whole spectral frequency, and you want to like tame that. You want those to shine, but when that vocal is hitting, you don't want vocals to fight with that piano. So Unmask is like, I would buy Neutron alone just for Unmask, but they don't sell it alone. You need to buy it with this whole set of plugins. So when I talked about workflow EQ wise, if you're just looking for an EQ, I think FabFilter still might be the best bet. It's currently 25% off, $149, but it's technically a $200 plugin. As you saw, it instantly was like my favorite for getting a lot of the job done. But when I wanted that stereo information, and like I said, the Unmask tool, there's exciters. I think that's more saturation. I mean, you get a lot of bang for your buck. And if I Googled it because I wasn't sure if this made sense. But technically, if you buy Neutron 5 elements for $55, then you get the upgrade to Neutron Standard, which I think they're selling it for $122. Technically, that $300 plugin you can get for $177.50 if you did that today or by tomorrow. I think today. Or you could wait till next Black Friday or the next Friday. They're probably going to have a Cyber Monday sale. So I don't know. It's a really tough dilemma. What should you do? We spent about 22 minutes figuring this out, and it's honestly up to you. I would still lean toward Neutron for the whole mixing purpose, because if you want to be a mix engineer, but workflow wise, and if you just wanted to get one plugin and you were minimalistic, man, you still can't beat that Pro Q4. It's just too damn good. I would maybe just use a third-party free plugin like Wider by what is that? Mushroom. Yeah, those Mushroom guys. There's a Wider plugin that's free, which works great. Just do a very little bit because it does that same. If you over stereoize or change the stereo image way too much, you start getting phasing issues. Anyway, yeah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Am I bugging? Does it make sense to get Neutron 5 and get a full job done? Or is workflow important for you and you just want one plugin that can handle stereo width, mid, side EQing, spectral, saturation all in one plugin? I don't know, man. If I had to choose, I don't know if I would go Pro Q4. If I was going to have to spend $300 no matter what, I would probably do Pro Q4 and a Pro L2 because you still need that limiter to get that shit popping. Oh yeah. I mean, but also Neutron has a clipper, and a clipper is so important because that clipper will get you 2, 3, 4 dB of extra headroom. And there's a limiter feature too on the Neutron. I don't know, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this was a fun video to do, and I had a great time doing it. And yeah, I'm not getting paid for this. I do have an affiliate link. I don't know how to do it, and I don't even want to do it. I just want you to determine for yourself, and hopefully this video was helpful. All right, until next time, it's more. See y'all. Have a good one. Peace.